Right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, chairman of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, James Woolsey. Hello, sir.
Hi, good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. We don't have a lot of time. We had some technical difficulties, unfortunately. Let me ask you about Obama today. President Obama, when confronted with all the recent failures against ISIS, or should I say the successes by ISIS in Syria and Iraq, said, we're not losing. Are we losing, and are we doing enough?
Well, we're certainly not doing enough, and if we're not losing, we're coming so close to losing that we've got to change what we do. This is just unacceptable. We're going to find ISIS or the Iranians or some combination of the two of them dominating the Middle East, and that would be an extremely dangerous situation.
No, you're absolutely right. And in Syria, of course, they have 50% of Syria now. I just, the mantra from the White House seems to be, we're going to train the Syrian, whatever, rebels or whomever, to fight ISIS. In Iraq, we're training the Iraqis. They keep running, and both Obama and even Hillary recently said, we can't do it for them. So it's obvious the Iraqis can't do it for themselves. Are we just conceding that what we now call Iraq, or what some call Iraq, some believe there is no more Iraq, is just going to be part of a caliphate?
Well, I certainly hope not. President Bush was also faced in '06 with a terrible situation in which the opposition, the Shiite groups and others were taking Anbar and winning, and he disregarded the advice of most of his advisors and went with the advice of General Jack Keane and one or two others, implemented the surge, and quite successfully pulled that off, and left President Obama after '08 with a really
stable
very solid
situation.
situation.
Mr. Woolsey,
right. That created a terrible problem.
Stay where you are, sir. We're going to come back with more. Don't go away, folks. James Woolsey's coming back. All right, folks, we're back with James Woolsey, former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, chairman of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, and we appreciate you staying through the break, sir. Let me ask you about, I had Tom Morell on the show, Mike Morell, sorry, yesterday, and he's still sticking to the possibility that the whole Benghazi attack was the result of that reaction to a video. Let me ask you, the DIA document has come out, which really disputes that vehemently. He downplayed the importance of the DIA document because he said it's one person or a couple of people, and it doesn't fit in with what the vast intelligence agencies and gatherings have found. Do you buy that the DIA finding, the DIA document that we now see, which says that this was long planned and was done by terrorists and not protesters over a video? Do you believe that that document is relevant, or do you agree with Mr. Morell that it's not relevant?
No, I agree with the DIA document, and General Mike Flynn, who was head of DIA for several years, I know. He's retired now. And I think DIA did an excellent job throughout all of this, superior in many ways to the other intelligence agencies. They were standing by themselves and calling it straight, and got, I think, a lot of criticism inside the government for calling it straight and sticking to their guns. I know what that's like, and I take my hat off to General Flynn and to the other people in DIA who put these assessments together. I don't have any independent knowledge of this video, whether it had a role or whether it even existed or not. But of the various accounts I've read, the fact that the video occurred does not seem important if it did occur. And the whole issue of their planning to run this operation on 9/11, an anniversary of the original 9/11. In that part of the world, anniversaries matter,
right.
And I think that there are other indicia that suggest that DIA and General Flynn and his people were right on this.
South Sea of China, we had an incident yesterday where the Chinese warned a U.S. What the quote-unquote spy plane to get out. This is in the South China Sea, as I mentioned. Actually, it was on May 20th, which was 2 days ago, possibly. What does this signal to you? What is this evidence of when it comes to China and the U.S.?
China is getting very aggressive in the South China Sea, not only with respect to the islands or tiny islands that they reasonably could say is within their control, but others that are more likely under any reasonable interpretation of international law to be under the control of others. And the Chinese are building artificial islands on sand spits and the like with airstrips and so forth on them as an effort to claim those areas. I imagine what was at the root of this a while back was oil, and they're wanting to have as much control over as much of the South China Sea as possible. But, since all that got to be an issue, we've developed fracking here in the United States. China has a good deal of shale.
Right.
There's no reason why we shouldn't work with them and make $1 or $2 on the side while doing it to help them pump their own oil from undisputed areas instead of trying to take over the South China Sea.
James Woolsey, I always appreciate you coming on. Thank you, sir. More coming up next, folks.